Good morning, this is Nicholas from Gandor Gaming, and today I bring you guys a brand new leader to the channel, that being Blue Yellow Queen. And if you don't know, this is one of the best OP04 leaders ever introduced, and for the longest time, it was our only Blue Yellow leader in the card game until Blue Yellow Ace come out and completely change up the meta. Now, a lot of people are playing Blue Yellow Ace nowadays, but I remember a time when a lot of people were hyping up Queen, and I think Queen is now a newly forgotten leader, which is kind of sad because this leader keeps getting brand new cards in every set. And ultimately, I think it has huge potential into OP07 because this deck doesn't play like any other deck in the format. It is very defensive, very trigger happy, and very gaining life. This deck doesn't play like any other decks because it's a combination of both blue and yellow, which are two of the strongest colors in the game. In my opinion, it definitely goes black, yellow, blue. And I think blue is just a great combination with yellow. And I'm happy to see that Queen is a really, really interesting leader. So let's get straight into this. So if you don't know, Queen has the ability, one Dawn when attacking. If you have a total of 4 or less cards in your life area and in hand, you draw 1. Then, if you have an 8 cost or more character on the field, you may add the top card from your deck to your life instead of drawing that 1 card. So basically the idea is that you're going to draw 1 every turn when you swing, when you manipulate your field. Then, once you get to your higher Dawn turn and you play an 8 cost or 9 cost character, basically you're going to keep healing yourself. That's the whole game plan of the game. You want to stall your opponent as long as possible to get to the late game. Unlike every leader in the current format that tries to win in the early game, that is not your game plan. You're one of the slow maneuvering leaders. You're probably one of the most controlled decks in the entire format, and because of that, you are very slept on. Literally, you're fat and slow, and you want to take your time in a game because your games can go forever. This is one of the most harder leaders to learn because not only do you need to manipulate your hand size, but you also got to manipulate the top cards of your deck, and you got to manipulate your life, and you got to still beat your opponent. So this deck can easily beat you if you're not ready, and that's one of the hard things about this leader. It's very, very hard to play, but it's also very rewarding. So let's get straight into this. So first things first, we are playing 4 cost Sanji. If you're a fan of my blue deck, my blue Don Quixote del Flamingo deck, you should be familiar with this card. This card came out in OP06, and it's just a phenomenal card. Basically, on play, reveal the top card of your deck, and then if it's a 9 cost or lower character other than Sanji, you get to play it directly for the deck, which is absolutely insane. This card is a must-have 4 of in any blue deck that's going for the 9 cost swings. I will say this leader did get 10 cost Ace, which is a very interesting card to test out in. Personally, I think the 9 cost Sanji and the 9 cost Yamato is just a stronger route for this leader. But maybe in future builds, we'll be playing the 10 cost Ace and foregoing the Sanji. So you'll just have to tell me in the comments what you think. But overall, I think Sanji is just one of the best cards in blue, and I think Queen uses it one of the best ways possible. Next, we're playing 2 Draco Mihawks. Anyone who knows my Blue Dolphin list also knows this guy. This dude on play shovels back a 7 or less character to the bottom of its owner's deck. It is an absolute fantastic card to be played off Sanji, and it's a very, very powerful tempo swing. The whole point of Queen is not only to keep gaining a life every turn, but to reorganize your deck so you can go Sanji into a Mihawk, or Sanji into the next best card of his deck, Yamato, the healer of the deck. This card is still a yellow staple to this day, and I think it's one of the best cards in this deck. A lot of people have been cutting this card for 10 drop Ace, but I think one of the decks that will keep Yamato is definitely Queen, just because it can tempo it out so easy. This card literally on play not only heals you if you have 1 or less life, but also gets a KO one of your opponent's characters equal to or less than the total number of you and your opponent's life. So basically, if you and your opponent's life equals 7 life or 7 cards, then this card kills a 7 drop, which is just really, really solid and really, really amazing. Not to mention it heals you, and it's a 9k beat stick. What else is not to love? This card's amazing. Next for our big guys, now this is a controversial one. I saw a deck list on YouTube playing this guy, so I figured I might as well give it a shot. It is Enel. I'm playing 2 of it just like he was in his build. The idea is that you can stack your deck, and this guy gives you a little more pressure to your opponent in the early game. For 7 Dawn, he basically just has Rush, and if he would ever be KO'd by any effects or by battle, you can just trash one top card of your life instead. And then this effect does not apply if there's a Monkey D. Luffy on the field. Basically saying, hey, if you go against a red deck that's playing 5 cost Luffy, best of luck to you. But basically, the reason why I really like this card is that basically it gives this deck a little more tempo swing. This deck is very defensive, as you'll see in this video. So the fact that you can go Sanji into a Enel Rush with 7k is a lot of pressure that came out of nowhere and really, really good overall. Next, for our defensive abilities, this deck is full of defensive cards. We're playing 4X Drake. This is probably one of the best blockers Blue has. The fact that this card literally allows you to, on play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and then place them in any order is just absolutely insane. Not to mention, it is a really, really strong blocker overall. I did consider playing the 5 cost Ace, the new 5 cost Blue Ace in this deck. The idea there is that you can restack your deck and then place whatever you want on top of deck to play it off to Sanji the next turn. I did consider that, and ultimately I decided not to, but there is an argument to be playing that, so we'll just have to see in the comments down below. Next, we're playing 2 Ultis. Ultis is just a really, really great card. Any blue mixed color deck should be playing this card. Basically, on play, if your leader is multicolor, look at the top 3 cards to your deck, add up to 1 card from the top 3 to your hand, then place the rest on the top or bottom in any order. This card stacks your deck, which is just really, really good, and overall just a great card. Next, we're playing 2 Charlotte Pudding. This card is a staple in blue decks. It shovels back your opponent's hand. It's just really, really strong and really, really oppressing. This card is absolutely amazing and is a must-have 2 of. Next, we're playing 4 Cabone Game Beige. This is our first 2K and our only 2K in the deck. This card's absolutely amazing. You want to put this into life with leader ability. The idea is that when trigger, up to one of your leader characters cannot attack this turn, which is just really, really stunning to your opponent. It keeps you alive, and overall, just a really great trigger against your opponent. We're also playing 4 Brûlée. Brûlée is absolutely amazing. You want to put this in life as well. Basically, trigger, play this card as a blocker. We're also playing 4 Boas. 4 Boas is just absolutely insane. This card literally just says, hey, I'm a blocker, same thing, but I'm a blue aspect, which is just really, really good. Very defensive deck. We have a lot of blockers and a lot of ways to stop our opponent. We're also playing 4 Duvals. Duvals is really, really solid. Basically, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and put them in any order. Not to mention, it's a 2K blocker, which is just really, really solid. And overall, a great card. Now, we do have a lot of non-count in this deck. If you're counting, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Just bodies, not counting the events we play. So we're also playing 4 Gum Gum Rain. Not only is it a pretty decent trigger that shovels back a 2 or less to your opponent's hand, but also you can trash any of your non-counter cards in order to get 3k power, which is just absolutely insane. Not to mention, it helps manipulate your hand so that you can queen effect on your opponent on your next turn, which is just really, really good. We're also playing 4 Soul Pocus. Same reason, it helps us manipulate our life. Not to mention, it also just heals us, which is just really, really good. It's just a great event. Our opponent does not want to take the life, thus they will ultimately heal us, and that's the whole game plan of this deck. Finally, we're playing 3 Red Rocks and 3 Raging Tigers. This card is absolutely insane, and of course, Red Rock is no exception. These are some of the best events in the game, and Queen has access to them. For OP07, I do want to consider playing the blue and yellow ace cards. I think both have huge potentials in this deck, but ultimately, I think X Drake does everything that deck wants to do anyway, and overall, it's just pretty solid in general. So, anyway, I hope you all enjoy. Don't do anything stupid, and I'll see you next one. Bye-bye.